Imagine the United States of anime. I mean America, but a world where competent, strategic, and the most dramatic characters from the entire anime multiverse took the helm of American leadership instead of, well, the inspiration for gumshoes. Let's be honest, Donald Trump's entire presidency was like watching an anime villain who doesn't know he's the villain. From countless botched pandemic responses to 2 impeachments, the whole thing felt like an over-the-top isekai where America got transported to this bizarre timeline, your reality stopped working, and your president was an orange. I do apologize for that one, but you did this to yourself, Americans, twice. But what if we could rewrite history? What if instead of this failed businessman turned reality TV star turned political gimmick, what if instead of him, we had anime's finest sitting in the Oval Office? Let's find out together. Number 1 on our list is the protagonist of Code Geass, a man who would easily be the smartest president in the world. I mean, just look at the guy's competition. Yeah, it's not going to be hard. We will be starting our list off strong with a man who would have outmaneuvered literally every scandal that President Trump ever faced before it even became a scandal. He would have made being POTUS look like child's play. We are talking about Lelouch v. Britannia. But how would Lelouch have done things differently? Let's talk about January 6th. Instead of charging his supporters into a confused LARP session that ended with a guy dressed as a Viking inside the US Capitol, Lelouch would have already won the election before it even started. Probably by creating a smear campaign that would destroy Biden's chances of ever winning. Well, not that he'd have to. I mean, as we can see, the demented dinosaur did that to himself by using every manipulation in the political book. This man would have had the entire government, both the opposition and the proposition, working for him without even knowing that they are, with a simple use of his Geass. He'd just have to say, "Nah, I won," and they'd give him the key to the White House. All he'd have to do was give one speech using his power, unite the entire nation, and be more popular than frickin' Lincoln. On top of that, zero corruption. Lelouch would have exposed every single corrupt politician in one session of Congress. He'd walk in with a dramatic camera angle, a glow in his eyes, tell everyone to confess, and they would sing like canaries. Well, there is one small downside. There's a chance he would declare himself the Emperor of the United States, because the man does not believe in democracy. But considering the alternative is Trump, who thinks of himself as a king while throwing paper towels at hurricane victims, I'm pretty sure that Americans would take their chances with Lelouch. But let's be real, Lelouch is a thinker, while countries sometimes need soldiers. And who comes to mind when you think about a soldier in anime? Erwin Smith. Erwin Smith from Attack on Titan would be the war president that America could have used. I mean, just imagine the 2020 pandemic. Instead of Trump saying, "Oh, it'll disappear like a miracle," we had Erwin leading the charge. Picture this. Instead of confusing press briefings when Trump tells people to drink bleach, which he actually did, we get Erwin stepping up to a podium. And I am sorry if this sounds nothing like him, but here goes.
Citizens of America, we are fighting a threat unlike any other. But do we falter? Will our nation be brought to its knees by an enemy that we cannot see? Are we not God's chosen? Are we not the defenders of the free world? Will we yield to this threat? No! My citizens do not falter. My citizens fight. Forward!
And boom. Everyone in the country would be charging Musk's site. They would be getting themselves tested for COVID like it's a Titan invasion. There would be volunteers on a national level to eradicate the disease. Public morale would have been through the roof. And instead of being dumb, again, I'm sorry Americans, but they would actually follow safety protocols. And then there's loyalty. Trump's cabinet was ducking left, right, and center. You think Anthony Fauci wouldn't have worked overtime if this guy asked? You think Bernie Sanders would have ridden to work on a horse if President Smith asked him to? One word from this guy and the whole government would have said. The only downside? the entire economy might have gotten sacrificed for the sake of one dynamic last stand. Because Erwin kinda doesn't know how money works, but hey, we would have had one good show and a very good reason to go out with a bang. But still, money is a problem. So what if instead of Erwin Smith, we had someone who understood money? Unlike Mr. I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, Trump. We are talking, of course, about the one and the only Bulma Briefs from Dragon Ball, the billionaire that we actually needed. I mean, think about it. If America absolutely had to elect a billionaire into the Oval Office, the least they could have done is to get someone who actually earned their money and understood how finances work. Because let's be honest, over the course of President Trump's not-so-glistening career, he got himself into a lot of trouble. I mean, refer to these. Meanwhile, Bulma was out here inventing time travel in her spare time and looking good while doing it. You'd think Trump's idea for a space force would have been a joke if Bulma was in charge? America would have had functioning space colonies in 3 years tops. Instead of embarrassing diplomatic moments where Trump forgets the name of world leaders or intentionally says them wrong, he has literally done that. I mean, look at this. We would have technological advancements that nobody's ever heard of with President Bulma. Also, Bulma wouldn't just fix the economy, no, she would revolutionize it. Imagine the stock market being run by Capsule Corp. Imagine healthcare, but with senzu beans. World hunger would have been gone with Capsule Corp food capsules. All the while Trump is playing golf. Only downside, your first man Vegeta would definitely, absolutely start a war. And yet, I am very confident they will be better than whatever Trump is doing with Ukraine and the Middle East. Just look at this. But instead of the smartest woman alive, what if we had someone who was technically less brighter than President Trump? But this someone knew how to use the ultimate weapon, charisma. But we go now to Kamina from Gurren Lagann, or as the full name of the anime goes, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Kamina is the ultimate hype man. If there's one thing that Trump was good at, and I have to give this man his due, it was hype. This man knew and still knows how to get people's attention. But his brand of hype was more like fear-mongering and Twitter tantrums that nobody really understand. But you know who would get people fired up and actually inspired? That's right, Kamina. Instead of Make America Great Again, we would have had banger slogans like Believe in the America that believes in you. Imagine Kamina as the president in literally any crisis. The economy is crashing? No problem. He's giving a speech that has the entire country ready to fight the idea of capitalism. Conflict between Israel and the Middle East? Kamina stares down both Netanyahu and Hamas at the same time and makes them question their own ideology. Man could convince anyone to do anything. I mean, look at what he turned Simone into. From this to this. Trump had golden statues of himself made at the CPAC. Kamina? He wouldn't need to ask for a statue. People would make it for him out of sheer hype alone. But the only downside, Kamina kinda is dumb. Zero actual political strategy. Kamina can make you do anything, but he doesn't make you do the things that need to be done. But hey, considering Trump thought nuking hurricanes was a viable option, I still find an improvement. But even with all of that, Kamina is just an idiot who has no idea what America means. But what if instead we had a president who was a living, breathing symbol of everything that America stands for? And he's not even an American. Truth, heroism, justice, and freedom. Now, if you know anything about anime, you know exactly who I'm talking about. The #1 hero in My Hero Academia, All Might. Yep, a leader who could actually represent the best of America, not just himself. All Might would be the first president who could actually, physically, punch corruption in the face. Instead of weird flag-hugging photo ops like these, Imagine a president showing up to the front lines announcing, "I am here with United States of Smash." Suddenly, Congress would start getting things done because this man would give them a lecture on truth and heroism every 5 minutes. The whole country would come together because they don't want to disappoint this man. Political parties would stop bickering about nonsense because they'd be too damn inspired to be corrupt in the first place. But there is a downside. All Might would definitely work himself to death in like 2 years tops, because considering Trump spent most of his presidency playing golf, I'd call 2 years of the greatest presidency on earth from All Might a worthy trade-off. Now all you people at home, get inspired by President All Might and hit that subscribe button with a Detroit smash, and make that bell icon. Fight with power for President Kamina. Until the next election, stay safe and do not elect the orange dude. That's it, folks. There's 100 more like these, we know, and who knows, maybe we'll get to them in another part of this video. Until then, leave your suggestions down in the comments.